Hello. This is a quick intro to tell you about which settings you should select when shooting video for whichever project you're going to do. Now, you can shoot video in a number of ways. Smartphones are very competent filmmaking devices. We have dedicated camcorders, and we also have digital single lens reflex cameras, or DSLRs, which can be used for photography and video. The rules are the same regardless. If you are selecting manual settings, if you want to create a cinematic look, a look that feels very natural and pleasing to the eye, the rules are the same. You might need to, or you will need to download a specific app for your Android or iPhone devices in order to unlock these manual settings. There are free and paid for options, so I can give you an advice on which one of those to buy or to download. Now, the rule is 24 frames per second is the most smoothest looking video for that natural cinematic look. As a rule of thumb, your shutter speed should be set to double that of your frames per second. So in this instance, 24 frames per second should be 1/48 shutter speed. Now, if your camera does not do 48, go to the nearest one, which might be 1/50. Now, you need to keep your ISO as low as possible to avoid grain. What does ISO mean? You don't need to know what the acronym means, but that determines the sensitivity of your sensor to light. So, if you're asking it to work very hard, it will try to introduce some grain. So try and keep the ISO between 100 and 800, depending on the conditions of where you are filming. Okay. Resolution should be around about 1080p, or as a rule of thumb, whatever your computer can manage at any given time. So obviously I don't want this video to date, but if in the future 4K is you can easily edit it, I would stick to 1080p. The exam board, as long as your video is nice and clear and you can show off your skills, it can be lesser resolution. In fact, I have to downgrade it in order to send it off to them. But shoot in 1080p to give you that nice resolution. So, as a rule of thumb, for slow motion shots, the same rules apply. So whatever your shutter speed is, double the frame rate, and vice versa. So if you're shooting 48 frames per second to allow you to get a bit of slow-mo, your shutter speed should be double that. As always, any questions, please let me know.